to the Prophecy Club. In case you are not aware, we just had a prophet come from Puerto Rico and make a new DVD, and it has blown us away. Our phones have run off the hook with orders, probably the most orders in years. Unfortunately, it is the worst news that I've heard in 35 years of teaching prophecy. Furthermore, it could hit as soon as this year. That's right, you better listen up. 41 years ago, at the tender age of 16, Prophet Efrain Rodriguez was shown in a vision that a large meteor will hit just west of Puerto Rico and cause a 1,000-foot tsunami there, which will be 200 to 400 foot high as it hits the east coast and goes inland for 20 to 100 miles, devastating the east coast of America. And it hits an earthquake fault, and it goes right up the Mississippi River Valley to the Great Lakes, splitting the Great Lakes all the way down to the Gulf of Mexico. He also saw that large chunks of California fall into the ocean, and all three events are the result of a meteor hitting. The name of the DVD is called Catastrophe, Meteor, Tsunami, and Earthquake. Well, I did some research to confirm or to discredit the warning, and what I found was startling. So much so, I put it in a DVD. We call it Meteor, the Destruction of America. Here's what I found. I found that Efrain is not the only one that saw this meteor hit Puerto Rico, because the Bible says, in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, let a thing be established. You see, if Efrain was the only person, then we could go back to sleep. But when you got 2 or 3, and in this case on the DVD, I give you 6 people that have seen a large meteor hit near Puerto Rico. 4 people saw a tsunami hit the eastern coast of the United States. 6 people that show that America splits in 2 pieces. 3 people that saw large chunks of California fall into the ocean. 9 people that saw America split because she split Israel. Now, Efrain was not shown that. Some confirming testimonies I mentioned on this DVD include the names of Maurice Galar, Augusto Perez, Virginia Boldad, Dimitri Duduma's daughter, Shane Warren, Daniel Bowler, Timothy Snodgrass, John Kilpatrick, and more. Essentially, this will be in retaliation from God if, and that's the good news, if America splits Israel. Then God will split America from the Great Lakes to the Gulf of Mexico and hit the west and east coasts. You want to get the Meteor gift offer, both DVDs, 785-266-1112. Gift of $30, both DVDs. It's called the Meteor gift offer. Now, I'm asking that all Prophecy Club listeners join our fast track team at prophecyclub.com and pray that America will not force Israel to give the Palestinians a state. If we force the Palestinians to give a state, then God will split America with that meteor. Kerry is currently twisting Netanyahu's arm, threatening sanctions and removal from office, asking for a Palestinian state by April 29th, 2014. Update news reports say that Israel is not cooperating, yay, with the Palestinian state. And Israel has refused to release some 12,000 terrorists and has approved new building projects in the contested territories. Kerry says the talks are not dead yet, so we need to kill them with prayer. You see, this meteor could hit this year. If America splits Israel, God will split America. The East Coast is hit with a tsunami. West Coast falls into the ocean. America cries for all the nations. It has helped through the years for help. Israel refuses help. Then the Arabs see their opportunity to attack Israel as America has been devastated. Americans sends troops, but Americans turn their back on Israel, saying they didn't help us. Why should we help them? This is the final straw in the eyes of God. America has turned against Israel, split Israel, and God calls for the Russians to attack and devastate this nation. If you want to help, go to prophecyclub.com. Join the Fast Track Fasting Prayer Team and pray this away. It's our only hope. If you want to get the information, then you want to order the Meteor gift offer. You can get it by calling 785-266-1112, or you can go to prophecyclub.com. The Meteor gift offer, 2 DVDs valued at $60. Give to $30, 785-266-1112 or prophecyclub.com. Now, we're going to go ahead and go listen to the DVD that I made confirming what Ephraim had been told. I call it Meteor, the destruction of America. Something that is about to happen that destroys Florida and all of the East Coast are tidal waves caused by several large asteroids that strike the Atlantic and the Gulf of Mexico. There's 3. John Johnston, another one, saw it. I dreamed I was on the boardwalk in Virginia Beach. I saw a giant black wall, a massive tidal wave heading to the shore. It was 300 foot high. In 2008, I saw a group of people on the boardwalk anointing it with oil. They said they were doing this because they had dreams that a giant tidal wave was going to hit the East Coast of the United States. That's 4. So now we have 4 people to say that they saw a tsunami hitting the East Coast. Efrain Rodriguez, Leslie Johnson, Augusto Perez, John Johnston. It seems like there was even another one I saw there. Earthquake. All right. How many people have seen something about an earthquake? Joel 3:1 says, "Behold, in those days and that time when I shall bring again the captivity." You see that word captivity? Doesn't mean put them in jail or prison. It means return the nation to a former state of prosperity. When I will bring again the wealth or the prosperity to Israel, I will gather all nations and bring them down to the valley of Jehoshaphat. Jehoshaphat means judgment. In other words, this is talking about Armageddon. Down to Armageddon, and I will plead with them for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations, and, here it is, look at that, those are big words, parted my land. Will Israel be parted? Yep. So will the meteor hit America? Will America be split? Yes, yes. Michael Boldea and his younger brother Serge, that's 2 people, and another proven prophet from Romania, February 3rd, 2006, all got the same dream, same night, that an earthquake hit California. The largest of this generation, the Golden Gate Bridge fell, large chunks of California fell in the ocean, so big it affected 10 states and they had to redraw the lines on the map. That's big. So now we have 3 people say large chunks of California fell into the ocean. So, question. What if America forces Israel to give the Palestinians a state? Could the newspaper headline read, Omer ushers in Palestinian state? Yes or no? Could it? Yes? Okay, good. Lindsey Williams, a chaplain on the Alaska pipeline in the 70s, made friends with many of the ruling elite. He was told that the elite consider themselves to be gentlemen and think not informing the general public of their plans is unsportsmanlike. That they need to tell the people, so they use news and movies to put forth their fair warning. Okay? Now, who's the most subtle beast of the field? So, are we expected to see the ruling elite come out on worldwide television and say, there's a meteor coming? No. Instead, they're going to do it very subtly, because that's the way the beast speaks, okay? Very subtly. This makes them feel empowered to see their victims totally helpless and unable to prevent their own demise after given fair warning. So, have the elite given us fair warning that there is a meteor coming? Have they? I'm going to say yes, we have been warned. We want the president to come on national TV. I said that. 2001, 4 months before 9/11. The Lone Gunman was a television series, a takeoff on the X-Files, in which a jumbo jet is hijacked and controlled from the ground. Plane is going into the World Trade Center. Does that sound familiar? At the last moment, the pilots regain control and avoid hitting the World Trade Center. That was our warning. June 5th, 2005, FX Network aired Oil Storm, a story Hurricane Julia strikes New Orleans, Louisiana, kills thousands of people, stronger than a Category 5 storm, destroys a major pipeline. The price of gasoline consequently soars to above $3 a gallon. 3 months later, August 29th, Katrina hit New Orleans. Gasoline then rose to above $3 a gallon. Was that a warning? Okay, so if they warned us about 9/11, if they warned us about Katrina coming, what about a meteor? Have they warned us that a meteor is coming? What do you think? It's called Deep Impact. It came out May 8th, 1998. That date's important. Unless a comet can be destroyed before colliding with the Earth, only those allowed to be in shelters will survive. Will people survive? And by the way, the lead actor was Morgan Freeman, a black president. Is that dating it? And they can't tell the population for fear the population will go into panic. The world elite then begin to prepare survival underground bunkers. In October 2005, Stephen Dollins was thrust into a global scene. When the Lord showed him the Illuminati card game, predicted many events of the past and future, and he made the very popular DVD Illuminati game Blueprint for World Domination. Today, there are many websites dedicated to just the Illuminati cards. Do the Illuminati cards speak about a meteor, about a tidal wave? In the early 1990s, the Secret Service attempted to stop the distribution of this deck of cards called Illuminati New World Order. One of the cards clearly portrays an airplane hitting the World Trade Center, another shows the explosion of the Pentagon. Stephen says they seem to show other things of the future. Would you believe? One of them says that there's going to be a meteor strike and a tidal wave. 2 months after the deep impact, this came out. The second movie, In the Mouth of Two or Three Witnesses. They told us they made 2 movies about it. This Armageddon, after discovering an asteroid the size of Texas is going to hit Earth in less than a month, NASA requires a team of deep core drillers to go up into this asteroid and drill into it and put a nuclear weapon and explode it and save the Earth. Well, the point is, there's 2 movies about a meteor hitting the Earth. Again, in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, let a thing be established. Have other people seen America get split? Al Balick was shown this. Now, I want you to notice 3 things about each one of these maps. I'm going to move through them quickly. Over to your left, you see that large chunks of California have fallen into the ocean. Up the center of the country, you see it's split in 2. On the east coast, you see that the eastern coast line is basically destroyed, okay? Notice the same things on this map. A different person. This is what they saw. That's 2. This is what, now, just in the yellow there, that's what Leslie said, mostly what her vision looked like. I hope that's the one that happens, not the other one, okay? That's 3. This is what another person saw. Look at California, Mississippi River, East Coast. 4. James 2:19 says the devil also believes and tremble. You see, just because, the devils know Jesus is Lord. He's just not their Lord. See? So they know. Look at this. Look at California, Mississippi River Valley. That's 5. Here's another one. Look at California, the center of the country, the East Coast. 6. California, center of the country, East Coast. 7. California, center of the country, East Coast. 8. California, center of the country, East Coast. 9. California, center of the country, East Coast. 10. California, center of the country. Do you see what I'm saying? 11. This is what another guy saw. 12. This is the famous Navy map. Now, John Moore said that he was in a room and some of the elite of the Navy walked in and said, no recording, no discussing this outside of this room. They put up a map and they said, that's what America's going to look like. Now, how do they know that? Well, we could talk about how they have these people that claim that they can astral project. I personally believe they have time travel machines. But somebody knows something. Because that's 13 people. 13 people that said essentially the same thing. Right, guys? Right? Okay? Again, this is what Leslie saw. And I hope that the center of the country looks just that damaged. So what are we talking about? We're talking about a meteor, a large meteor, landing in exactly the right place. And where is that place? On the right side of the screen, you see the Virgin Islands. In the center is Puerto Rico. Then over on the left is Mona. That's where he said the meteor hits. All right, so when the meteor hits there, now here's a larger picture of it. Here's what we believe is going to happen. First of all, as it hits there, then we're going to see a tsunami hit in straight line right up the East Coast. And it'll probably go 25 to maybe 100 miles inland. Then It also is hitting an earthquake fault that runs right up the Mississippi River Valley up to the Great Lakes, and probably splitting them into all the way down to Mexico. Then large chunks of California are going to fall into the ocean. When is it going to happen? Well, I'd like to say that God sent an angel and told me the year, month, day, and hour it's going to hit. But he hasn't. So when is it going to happen? October 1991, President Bush started the notion that Israel must forfeit land for peace. Territorial compromise is essential for peace, he said. Then October 31, the perfect storm hit. Went 1,000 miles in the wrong direction. You know, winds tend to blow the same way, okay? But these didn't. Normally, storms go from west to east. This storm went from east to west, smashed into New England, specifically hit the president's personal home. The next day, the newspaper articles appeared entitled, "One-on-One Peace Talks Next." On the same page, it said, "East Coast hit hard by rare storm." And people think there's not a God. People think God isn't talking. Next day, judgment on USA. August 24, 1992, Madrid Peace Conference started to discuss the issue of Palestinian self-rule in the Israeli-occupied territories to divide the land of Israel. August 24, 1992, the Category 5 Hurricane Andrew smashed into southern Florida and hit Louisiana a few days later, the worst natural disaster up to this time to hit America. 180,000 Americans were left homeless. $30 billion in damage. Why? Because they're just talking about splitting Israel. August 26, New York Times, headlines on the same page. Bush's gains from convention nearly evaporate in the latest poll. Same page. Israel offers plan for Arabs to rule in occupied lands. Thousands homeless in Florida. In other words, you kick my people out of their land, I'm going to kick your people out of your land. And some people want to say, oh, well, we're the new Israel. Sorry, that's not what God says. September 1, 1993. Again, New York Times headline, same front page. Israel and PLO ready to declare joint recognition. Hurricane hits Outer Banks as thousands seek safety inland. January 16, 1994. They meet discussing giving the Golan Heights to Syria. January 17, 94, 6.8 earthquake rocks Los Angeles, causing $25 billion in damage, second largest natural disaster in history. August 9, 2001, suicide bomber killed 19 people in Jerusalem, and 32 days later, 9/11 hits. You can read all of these in detail. As a matter of fact, I'm going to skip on through some of them. So, when does the meteor hit? Is it going to be as soon as they put ink on paper saying that Israel is going to split? Maybe. But I hope it's after the last Jew leaves the areas that they have to leave. In other words, I hope that God will be long-suffering and give us as much time as possible. Israel was celebrating its Independence Day. April 19, 2010, Obama announced it would no longer automatically vote with Israel in matters of self-defense. The very next day, the Deepwater Horizon had a blowout, and what was supposed to be America's blessing turned out to be America's curse. In the bottom right corner, you notice one of those Illuminati cards that says oil spill. This Deepwater Horizon sank. This well gushed for pretty close to 100 days. Caused all kinds of devastation out there. It was supposed to be our blessing. You realize that one well, they say, could have supplied over half of the United States petroleum, probably lowering our gasoline prices. But because we were messing with the apple of God's eye, that blessing was taken away and turned into a curse. Oil spill continued for 85 days. Obadiah 1:15 says, as you have done to Israel, it's going to be done unto you. Don't mess with Israel. Couple of newspaper headlines of the fall of America. Kerry has set a goal to have the Palestinian state happen by April 29, 2014. Did you hear me? In other words, the United States, now, as we speak, Kerry is over in Israel twisting the arms of Netanyahu, trying to get him to give the Palestinians a state. And he says his goal is to have it done by April 29, 2014. Now, I don't think that the meteor is going to hit this year or next year, and I can give you some other good guesses. And with maybe $1, of course these days maybe $5, you can get you a cup of coffee. Used to be a quarter, not anymore. So, What if God sends the meteor of the day right after we force Israel to split? In other words, if the meteor is coming to split Israel, how long after we split Israel will it be till the meteor? You want to know when the meteor strikes? You watch Israel. When we split Israel, are you hearing me? When we split Israel, did you get that? That one fly over your head? And when we split Israel, what if the meteor causes a tsunami, split of America and the Golden Gate Bridge to fall? Could the headline that day read, "Catastrophe hits America"? Couldn't it? This is NASA graphic showing all the orbits of 1,400 known asteroids. That's what's circling around us now. The reason we haven't had an asteroid strike like this in recent history is because of God. So bringing one of them down to hit exactly the right time and place as He wants, not a problem. He threw the stars in place with His finger and called them by name. Heaven is His throne, the earth is His footstool. And we're going to wonder whether He can send an asteroid? Could the next headline be one of America's greatest times of need? Does it seem reasonable that America would call for help from the nations, and then would Israel refuse to help? Well, why would Israel refuse to help America? We just split their land. Israel refuses to help America. What if the Arabs then were to see their opportunity? What if they were to then turn and say, "Hey guys, America has been split. This thing has done devastation there." Could they say that that's their opportunity? And could the headline read, "Israel has attacked America, sends troops"? Since most Americans have not read, "I will bless them that bless you and curse them that curse you," could the next headline then read, "Chaos reigns as Americans protest help to Israel"? Would God regard this as America turning against Israel and destroy her? Meaning, could the next headline be, "The fall of America will start with an internal revolution"? In other words, the splitting of Israel caused the splitting of America. The splitting of America is caused by a meteor. Wow. These 49 verses talk about oil in Israel, but I'm going to skip by them. But I will say this. The summary of those verses can be summed up into this. "In the last days I will give hidden riches of yellow crude oil, sucked deep from the rock of the land. I will cause the nations to fear and tremble over Israel, when the wealth has been promised his return to Moses. I will build the waste cities, making Israel the glory of all land, returning them to their former state of prosperity or wealth." My question is, could it be that this earthquake that destroys most of America releases at the same time oil to Israel? Now, I'm not going to cover this dream, but essentially in the dream, I jumped up on a rock, I pointed down into the earth, and I said, "There's oil coming forth from there," or something here. "There's about to be oil come out of there." And I felt a rumbling down in the earth below. And about that time, oil came squirting out of some other, apparently formerly dry wells. What if the meteor strike is the beginning of the fall of America, the rise of Israel, and releases oil to Israel? And that oil finances Israel's growth and victory in World War III. What if the meteor strike causes a 200-foot tsunami to hit the east coast of America, America to split in two pieces, large chunks of California fall into the ocean, the beginning of the fall of America? The cause? Watch. When America forces Israel to split, God uses a meteor to split our land. Dmitri Duduman said the fall of America would start with an internal revolution. Efrain Rodriguez, might say, now he hadn't said this, but the fall of America will start with a meteor. But when we put the whole picture of the pieces of the puzzle together, could we say the fall of America will start with America splitting Israel? Got it? Okay. Got to work backward there. Okay, so main thing we need to pray against, that America will not split Israel. But Stan, you say it's coming eventually. Well, all right, fine, it may be coming eventually, but I don't want it to happen in my lifetime. Right? We got to pray a delay, right? Pray a delay. Timing. I'm not setting dates. I think the fall of America is closer to probably around 2020 or thereafter. Again, I'm just giving you ballparks. I'm not saying it's going to happen in 2020. Therefore, I personally think we have more time, but it could happen shortly. I think we'll be in retaliation for America splitting Israel, so watch how we treat Israel.
I believe these are the events heading to the millennium. Omer ushers in Palestinian state. Meteor hits Puerto Rico. Catastrophe hits America. Oil will be discovered in Israel, someplace in there. One of America's greatest times of need. Israel refuses help to America. Arabs attack Israel. World War III begins. USA sends troops. Starts revolution. Russia attacks and defeats America in 1 hour. World War III ends. Peace treaty signed at Paris. New world order forms. 7-year tribulation begins. Armageddon, return of Jesus at the very end. Timing, again, my guess is somewhere in 2020. They will part Israel, but let's pray that it could be delayed. So, to summarize, 3 people have seen a large meteor hit near Puerto Rico. 4 people, a tsunami hit eastern coast of the United States. 6, that America splits in 2 pieces. 3, that large chunks of California fall into the ocean. 3, that America is split because we split Israel.
Now from the Prophecy Club, some exciting opportunities for you. You must get these 2 DVDs. Outside of the birth of Christ, I think this is the most important information since the flood. Prophet Efrain Rodriguez was shown in a vision that a large meteor will hit near Puerto Rico and cause a 1,000-foot tsunami there, but it'll be 200 to 400 feet high and go 100 miles inland on the east coast of America. It will also split America from the Great Lakes to the Gulf of Mexico, and large chunks of California will fall into the ocean, killing millions of Americans. In a second DVD, I put the whole picture together, quoting 6 other people that also saw a large meteor hit Puerto Rico, 4 for the tsunami hitting the east coast of the United States, 6 the split of America in 2 pieces, 3 large chunks of California falling into the ocean, 3 also saw the reason for this is because America forces Israel to split her land. Get both DVDs valued at $60 for a gift of $30. It's good for the ministry, but you have to have this information. Call 785-266-1112 or go to prophecyclub.com. Get the Meteor offer today. Get it today. How can I possibly begin to tell you what you really need to know about the last days? We have so many DVDs at the Prophecy Club, but this particular DVD is a must-have. It's called Revelations for the Midnight Hour by Maurice Sklar, and he covers 10 visions. These aren't just dreams, brothers and sisters. These are visions. And the 10 visions are the tree of knowledge of good and evil, the 6 Babylons, the vision of the mantle of Elijah, the vision of the 10 lamps, the vision of the Victorian mansion, the vision of the wedding supper, the closing of the gates, 3 wars of Israel, preparation of the bride, and the vision of heaven. All 10 of them, 1 DVD, valued at $30. We're making it available today for a gift of just $15. Call 785-266-1112 or go to prophecyclub.com. 785-266-1112, Visions for the Midnight Hour by Maurice Sklar. We've had about 150 speakers make about 300 different titles, all dealing with Bible prophecy. But may I say, I think that these 2 DVDs may be some of the most important DVDs to get if you want to understand what may be coming in the near future. The first one is talking about how America is the final Babylon. The second one is talking about timelines, how soon the tribulation may start, and they claim that the tribulation will start in 2018 and be all over by 2025. They have lots and lots of research to be able to say that. Get both of these DVDs, valued at $30 each, but now you can get both of them for a gift of just $30 to the Prophecy Club, 785-266-1112, or online at prophecyclub.com. End Time Babylon and Prophetic Timelines.